Hi and welcome to our latest video in the Explainer series. In today's video I'm going to talk to you about logbooks. Why are logbooks so important? Honestly, CASA says that we need to keep our logbook for 7 years. Now that's 7 years after the last flight. So if you were to fly today for 20 minutes, you still need to keep that logbook for 7 years. Now you're probably thinking, how do I do that? Where would I store it? There are a couple of options. If you're flying a DJI product and you're logged into your DJI system, you're going to be able to, that'll just keep that stored for you. I, however, fly multiple drones on multiple platforms, and I'm not always logged into my personal account. I'm sometimes logged into my work account. So I tend to keep a physical logbook. So this is an example of my physical logbook, and I'm going to show you 3 different examples of different logbooks that you can use, and hopefully you'll pick one of them and you'll be able to use it and help you with your flying. So let's get started and have a look at the first type of logbook. So this is my actual logbook that I use. Now it is an Excel spreadsheet, and you can see here there's a few tabs down the bottom: pilot details, flight log, yearly stats, and then the selection lists. We're not going to go into those sort of details right now. Instead, what I'd rather do is just point out the key features. So you can see here we have the date column. So I went for a flight today, 10th of August, the time that I flew, 12:55, the aircraft that I was flying, in this case it was my Mavic Air, where I was flying, and the state that I was flying in and why I was flying. So I was flying to take some video. I flew for 15 minutes and I flew for approximately 254 meters. Now, because I'm flying on the DJI platform, that information is recorded, so I don't have to guess. Now, I also only did the one takeoff and the one landing. Now, this year check is just for the spreadsheet to make sure it all works properly. Just coming back to this section here with the flight meters, this is not a requirement of CASA. This is a piece of data that came out of the DJI product. So because of that, I've used it and incorporated it in this spreadsheet. If you want to know more about this spreadsheet and how it's all put together, please put a comment and I'll answer it in another video. So let's move on to the next type. So this next type of logbook that I wanted to show you comes from CASA. So I've gone to the CASA website, and I'll leave the link in the show notes here, casa.gov.au, and I've gone to the forms page. Now I've gone down into forms, and there's quite a few forms here. So I'm going to search for the term RPAS, RPAS, and comes up with 10 results in our forms. And I'm looking for this particular form here, which is, I've gone too far. Where is it? This particular form here, 1483 RPA Flying Hours Logbook. So I'll go ahead and download that. So this is the form that you get when you download the document from CASA, and this is their sample. So the first page is obviously the cover page, and then you've got your pilot details, which is important information. And then this is what we've got here with the actual document. So on first glance, this looks rather terrifying and intimidating. It's very similar to my mock-up one in Excel. You've got the month, the day, the type of RPAS you're flying, the pilot's name, anybody else involved in the flight, the location of the flight that you're taking, and then it's got these acronyms here. And as we all know, aviation is the industry with the most acronyms in it worldwide. So VLOS, visual line of sight, EVLOS, extended visual line of sight, and BVLOS, beyond visual line of sight. And then we have these 2 acronyms here that keep repeating themselves: ICUS, in command under supervision. In other words, a training flight. The other one is RPIC, which is remote pilot in control, or in command, sorry, not control. And then we have that repeated for EVLOS and BVLOS. And then of course we have this last column here, which we're using for doing totals, etc. What I like about this style is that you can then bring your totals forward down the bottom and calculate your total flying time, and have all that at the bottom of each page. And on each page you can then have the information that you need. So this is the CASA version, and then you can print this out and have a hard copy of this one, which is fine. But let's go have a look at another one. So this is our third and final example of a logbook, and this is my version that I've done in a Word document. And again, I'll provide you the information regarding this if you request it in the comments. Now, this is a modified version of the CASA one, so I've made it a bit more simplified. I've got the year, a section here for the RPAS, so you can actually write in the RPAS that you're flying, and the location. So the year, month, day, RPAS type and model, fairly straightforward, where you're flying, state, and then I've added this reason column. You'll notice that that wasn't included in the CASA one. I've included it because I just think sometimes it's handy to know, to have that record as to why you're flying certain missions. Now myself, I only tend to fly visual line of sight, so I've just had the visual line of sight column included, and then I just had day, night, and then the number of takeoffs and landings, and it's much more simplified. And I like this. This contains all the information that you need to satisfy all of CASA's requirements. I also have at the bottom of this is a notes section, which again I think is quite handy. This document can be printed out as many times as you like. You can bind it, you can do whatever you like with it. I'm using it as a Word document and print it out, but you could also modify this into some sort of electronic document. So there you have it. There's 3 different examples of logbooks you can use for your RPAS. Now remember, you need to keep your logs for 7 years, so you need to find a method that you're going to find useful. For me, a hard copy works really well because I just have a tendency of not throwing stuff out. Electronics are fine, but don't forget you need to keep a backup of those. I'll provide links for all of them in the notes down the bottom. So find the one that works best for you, and don't forget to like and subscribe. Thanks for watching.